The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. In the quiet, mysterious valley of Sleepy Hollow, located along the banks of the Hudson River in New York, there lived a gangly, awkward schoolteacher named Ichabod Crane. Tall, thin, and somewhat odd in appearance, Ichabod had a voracious appetite both for food and for knowledge, though his head was often filled with superstition and ghost stories. Ichabod wasn't a native to Sleepy Hollow. He had come from Connecticut to take up a position as the schoolteacher in the small village. Despite his peculiar looks and strict teaching methods, he was a well-liked figure in the community, especially among the women who admired his polite demeanor and refined tastes. Ichabod, however, had his eyes set on one person in particular, Katrina Van Tassel, the beautiful and wealthy daughter of a local landowner, Baltus Van Tassel. Katrina was admired by many suitors, but Ichabod saw her not only as a romantic interest, but as a way to secure wealth and status through marriage. His chief rival for Katrina's affections was a burly, roguish man named Brom Bones, a local hero known for his strength, charm, and mischievous nature. While Brom wooed Katrina with boisterous antics, Ichabod tried to impress her with his knowledge and manners. As Ichabod courted Katrina, he became more and more entrenched in the lore and legends of Sleepy Hollow, a place known for its eerie atmosphere and ghost stories. The most famous tale, told by the townsfolk, was that of the Headless Horseman, a ghostly figure said to be the spirit of a Hessian soldier who had lost his head to a cannonball during the Revolutionary War. The horseman was said to roam the dark woods of Sleepy Hollow at night, searching for his lost head and terrorizing anyone who crossed his path. One evening, Ichabod was invited to a grand harvest party at the Van Tassel estate. After the party, which was filled with music, food, and dancing, the guests gathered around the fire to tell ghost stories. Brom Bones, who enjoyed teasing Ichabod, recounted his own encounter with the Headless Horseman, claiming he had once outrun the spirit on his horse. Feeling a sense of dread after hearing all the tales, Ichabod mounted his horse and rode home through the dark and foreboding woods. As he traveled down the winding road, the night grew darker, the air colder, and strange noises echoed through the trees. Nervous and filled with fear, Ichabod's mind played tricks on him, making him think that every shadow was a lurking spectre. Suddenly, Ichabod saw something terrifying, a large, cloaked figure on horseback riding alongside him. The rider was silent, dark, and looming. But worse still, the figure had no head. Instead, it carried a flaming jack-o'-lantern in its hand. It was the Headless Horseman. Panicked, Ichabod spurred his horse into a wild gallop, hoping to outrun the fearsome apparition. The Headless Horseman gave chase, following Ichabod through the woods, over bridges, and through the fog. The faster Ichabod rode, the closer the horseman seemed to come. As they approached the boundary of the church bridge where the horseman was said to disappear, Ichabod glanced back, only to see the horseman raise the flaming pumpkin high into the air. With a terrifying force, the horseman hurled the pumpkin directly at Ichabod. The next morning, Ichabod's horse was found wandering the countryside, but Ichabod himself was nowhere to be seen. All that remained at the scene of the chase was a shattered pumpkin. Rumors spread through Sleepy Hollow. Some believed Ichabod had been spirited away by the Headless Horseman. Others thought he had fled the area out of embarrassment after being rejected by Katrina, who ultimately married Brom Bones. Brom, for his part, seemed to know more than he let on, often laughing whenever the tale of Ichabod's disappearance was told. Though Ichabod was never seen again, the legend of the Headless Horseman continues to haunt the people of Sleepy Hollow to this day.